Wetlands are important when we talk about climate change because first, it's through water that we feel the consequences, immediate consequences of climate change. Through drought on one side, no water, through flood on the other side. And when we manage wetlands, we can manage those two events. So managing wetland contribute to also adaptation to climate change. But also climate change has an impact on wetlands. It impacts wetlands and it reduces the resilience of some type of wetlands. So we need also to address this. And some other wetlands can serve as mitigation tools. If you take, for instance, what we call peatlands, it's a type of wetlands that has stored carbon for hundreds of years, thousands of years, and this carbon is blocked there. When you drain this area, when you degrade the area, you release the carbon, a lot of carbon, and this contributes to global warming, so this contributes to accelerating climate change. So we need to be aware of it to make sure that we are managing peatlands carefully so that we can make sure they contribute to continue storing carbon. And the other side, when you look at other type of wetlands, coastal and marine wetlands, especially mangrove, seagrass meadows, coral reef, and salt marshes, all of them store a lot of carbon into the soil, and they block it. Some of them have blocked carbon there for thousands of years. And today, we are losing many of them. And some study has shown that about 20 to 30% of mangrove area, salt marshes and meadows, and seagrass meadows have been lost. And they continue to be lost just because people do not understand the value of them in terms of carbon storage. Those are very important carbon storage. And there is today a study from the World Bank revealing the importance of those areas, coastal wetlands. Fortunately, the UNFCCC has also recognized under the drainage and reweighting of wetlands that this is also to be considered, because when we degrade wetlands, we also contribute not only to emission of CO2, carbon dioxide, but also methane and nitrous oxide, which are even more important in terms of emission of carbon than CO2. So this contributes to the nitrogen cycle, and denitrification of wetlands contribute to emission of a lot of carbon. So we need to understand that, and we need to make sure that we are not draining those areas, we are not degrading those areas, we are maintaining them, maintaining the health of those areas, and so we are contributing to storing a lot of carbon, contributing to mitigation of climate change. When we use them properly, not only we mitigate climate change, but we increase the possibility for fisheries, for food security, for poverty reduction. And those areas are also good for tourism when they are healthy. When they are degraded, they are no longer good for tourism. So it's important to understand that they contribute for food security, for even energy production, and they contribute for climate change adaptation and mitigation, and they can also contribute to poverty reduction. So the role of wetland for sustainable development, each type of wetland has its value. And we need to understand that we have wetlands from the mountain to the sea. Each landscape has its type of wetland. All of them contribute, and many of them are very linked to forest area. We need forest, but we need also wetland to sustain forest. So the interdependency between forest, wetland, agriculture, because we need also water for agriculture, energy production, all of that we need to understand. And we need to understand the connectivity between land and sea. Now we recognize that land use system are driver of climate change in terms of degradation. But we have not enough recognized that also some ecosystem, like wetlands, are asset for reducing emission, asset for storing carbon. And this is happening today. And we are happy to see that under the CDM, the Clean Development Mechanism, the UNFCCC have recognized a methodology we have proposed for reforestation and afforestation of tidal marshes, including mangrove. And this is an opportunity for even private sector to use the methodology to get carbon credit. So we are happy to see that the scientific community is working to improve the knowledge about the role of wetland for climate change.